Welcome back folks, my name is LastKnownMeal and today we're gonna be talking about the Witcher 3 next gen upgrade, or well, more specifically about patch 4.03, which came out today for PC, PlayStation and Xbox. Now of course CD Projekt Red came out with all of the patch notes that we are going to go through, and also they shared some information regarding the next gen update version on Nintendo Switch. So without further wasting your time, let's go through it all. So the new patch, which was about 2.5 gigabytes for me on GOG, it's probably going to be a bit bigger on consoles and maybe Steam, but overall let me know down below in the comments on how big the patch actually was for you. So CDPR came out with a statement and said this: "We're hard at work to bring the patch to Nintendo Switch players as soon as possible, and we are hoping to have it out in the following months. Thank you for your patience. Speaking of the Switcher, here's a heads up for Nintendo Switch players. The previous save file integration with Steam and GOG Clouds introduced in 3.6 will be replaced and upgraded in the upcoming patch with a new cross-progression system that has been introduced on other platforms with patch 4.0. This is to align with our other games and to bring you unified experience across all platforms. The new system is going to require a GOG account regardless of your PC platform or generally a platform in general. And this is amazing because of course it has cross progression, so regardless of the platform you're going to be playing The Witcher on, your progression is going to be the same, which is actually amazing, and I'm a huge fan of this, you know, ever since here and of course on Cyberpunk 2077, which helps out a lot because having different saves on different platforms is it's not good. It's really not good. So of course, to all Nintendo Switch users, you're gonna be getting a free update, and this is amazing because honestly I was not expecting them to even have the update on Switch, but yeah, it's definitely coming. Now when it comes to the game itself, let's go through the specific changes and also performance, which I'm going to talk about at the end of this video. Of course, you have all of the timestamps down below. So these are the PC specific changes. First, fixed an issue with ray-traced vegetation shadows popping depending on Geralt's proximity and angle. This was a bit of a problem because as you're walking throughout the forest or anywhere basically on the map where you have any sort of vegetation, it was definitely doing those random pop-ups, which is kind of a staple for Red Engine in general. So it seems that here that has been toned down a little bit. Of course, I can still somewhat see it, I'm gonna be honest, but it is a lot less than it was prior to this update. They also fixed an issue where repeatedly disabling and enabling ray trace reflections and shadows could cause black shadows to appear at the edge of the object, so this is nice. Addressed the issue where DirectX 11 version of the game could crash on launch or after loading a save on certain AMD GPUs. They also added support for Intel Xe super sampling, which was also included in the latest update for Cyberpunk 2077, and as I said before, this is Intel upscaling technology that uses machine learning to improve performance and image quality. Honestly, I was somewhat positively surprised by it in Cyberpunk 2077, so it is really nice to have this additional option in The Witcher as well. For me, in The Witcher, it was somewhat okay, I'm gonna be honest, so I will continue to go on and off to see like overall how it's going to look. But I mean, it looks nice, but it doesn't work as well, for example, as it does for me personally in Cyberpunk 2077. But of course, you can play around this and let me know down below if it works out for you. They also fixed some lighting issues with screen space reflections when ray trace global illumination was off. They fixed performance improvements to ray trace global illumination and ray traced reflection, so you're gonna be getting a bit more frames now. Honestly, as you can see from this gameplay, I've been getting a bit more frames in general going from the previous update, and so I'm glad that this update is continuing that trend and it's not going to lower my frame rate as some updates tend to do. And they also fixed an issue where purple splashes could appear on screen when riding Roche through puddles of water. Now when it comes to console specific changes, the cross progression pop-up will now properly display which account is logged in, so if this was troubling you, it has been fixed now. fixed an issue where dark stripes or shadows appeared on Geralt in the inventory screen when performance mode was enabled on PlayStation 5. Personally, I was not having this issue, but I'm glad they fixed it. They also fixed an issue where the game could briefly freeze or stutter when autosaving on next-gen consoles. Honestly, I had this issue and I am really glad this was fixed because this was somewhat annoying me on PlayStation 5. And they addressed the issue of performance drops on next-gen consoles while using Witcher senses in Beauclair and Novigrad. When it comes to visual changes, these are for PC and next-gen exclusive. Fixed an issue where a grid of light spots could appear on the ground and walls in certain weather conditions with ray tracing enabled, and honestly, ray tracing in general in this game was a bit problematic, especially how it reacts on certain surfaces with certain objects. So like for example this fix. Spider webs will no longer change color when moving a camera with ray tracing enabled. This was somewhat of a problem because when you look at these spider webs, well, they were purple. They also fixed an issue where some textures on characters during cutscenes would appear as not fully rendered. And through Space and Time Quest fixed an issue where the mist in Poison Valley was pink instead of white. Now this is interesting. In the quest and gameplay changes, they added a community-made mod called Next Gen Script Fixes. Now this mod is interesting because it brings a lot of quality of life changes, so let's go through some of them from the mod actually menu. Fixed Quick Slots UI being visible while playing as Ciri after loading a save file with her being a playable character. Now also he goes into fixing Geralt buffs being removed after playing as Ciri, or for example the quick slots not showing after playing as Ciri, fixed unselection of bombs and arrows after re-equipping them, so this is incredibly nice. Now when it comes to quests and gameplay changes which are available on all platforms, this is what was changed. In the internal Fire Shadow quest, the ambient music from the quest will no longer continue playing after completion. For players who have already experienced this issue, it may be necessary to enter the Novigrad or Oxenford sewers again to resolve it, so if you have this, please go and do this. And this is also amazing because they added an option to auto-apply oils in combat. This is extremely useful and I'm glad this option was finally added. And of course, with the exception of potions and decoctions, it is now impossible for Geralt to eat or drink underwater. Yeah, this is now a new change. While the team agreed it might be possible to drink liquids from a corked flask, consuming pints of ale or grilled meats underwater is too much of a stretch. Okay, okay. And of course, in the end, they say that these are the most notable changes. The other minor changes did not make it into this list, which I have a mixed opinion about, but yeah, it is what it is. So honestly, right now, my final conclusion regarding the performance of the update is that it is running, you know, okay. I mean, it is not a huge difference, but ever since the previous update, at least for me, it was somewhat of a decent experience. You know, frame rate is slowly coming back, and I'm sure that they will continue to update this for a few more patches until it's properly polished out, because I did see that some people obviously still are having issues with the performance, especially if you're running this on DirectX 12 version, obviously with all of the ray tracing enabled and having Ultra Plus everywhere. It can be very problematic, and even on the highest like possible PCs, like this game can definitely eat out like a lot of your system and still perform very poorly. But you know, ever since the latest patches, things have been slowly improving, and for some people those changes are too slow. I mean, we shall see. I will continue to play this and cover this, and the future updates will tell us a lot about how is this going to progress further. And this is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button for more, and tell me down below what do you think about this update, and do you have better or worse performance in the game? Let me know. Also, don't forget to, as I said, check us out on Twitter and Discord, and huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. If you wanted to support the channel in an extra way, you can do it through Patreon or directly here on YouTube. This is LKM signing out, stay classy everyone, and bye bye.